the bloke who's done all this. Why didn't he just go back to where he came from, bringing his problems in here? We never had any problems before he arrived, you know. Honestly, you know, not a single person, nobody had a problem. I never had a problem in my life until this bloke turns up, and now I'm full of problems. I've got problems everywhere. So it don't matter now anyway. I mean, we'll have him out one way or another. It's only a matter of time, innit? You can't stay holed up in there forever, can he? Yeah, that's what I'm waiting here for. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to make a break for it. Attrition. That's what Mrs. Fairfax calls it. It was Mrs. Fairfax's idea, you know, to sweat this guy out. She's sort of organised, she is. She's Mrs. Fairfax, she's a very organised sort of a woman. I think she works up in the council or something. Well, anyway, she said right from the start that this bloke was a bit funny. You know, she called this meeting and she was, you know, telling us about it. She'd had her eye on him right since the start, since he moved in. And, you know, after that meeting, that's when all the talk started, wasn't it? You know, people were stopping on the stairs to talk to each other, you know, about this bloke. And there was these wild stories flying about, you name it. And then came the letters. You see, people would push these dirty little letters under the door to kind of, you know, upset him. I suppose, you know, try and get him to move out. And Mrs. Fairfax's idea. She's a clever woman, that Mrs. Fairfax. Yeah. And, you know, there's nothing you wouldn't do for her. So we all wrote a letter, didn't you? You kind of had to, didn't you? I mean, doesn't really, you know, I mean, I ain't got anything personal against him. No. You know, you kind of got to think. Oh, sorry, that's Mrs. Fairfax. She sent me a message. She told me. She's just checking. She's just checking I'm still here. No, I haven't got nothing against the bloke, have I? He ain't done anything to me, personally, but you've got to think of the bigger picture, ain't you? Yeah, so, I mean, everybody had to write a letter, didn't they? So, you know, I wrote one, quite a good one, I think. I put it under his door. You know, anyway, I was proud of that letter. And then after that, well, when that didn't work, yeah, Mrs. Fairfax thought we ought to try and get into his flat and, you know, have a sniff about. Yeah, find out what he's up to, or at least find out what he looks like, because nobody's seen him. Mr. Johnson from number 30, he had the brilliant idea of turning off this guy's water at the mains and then, you know, coercing a janitor to go in and take a look about while he was fixing it. The bloke never answered his door, so, you know, that didn't work either. Do you know he's got a funny name? Yeah, it's on his mail. Funny, you can't really get your tongue around it. Like, it's like you've got too many syllables in it or something. It's like more like a smear than a name. Anyway, I've never seen a name like it. Foreign, I suppose. It's like it's not really a name at all, anyway. Well, not a proper one, anyway. You know, we don't like blokes without proper names living around here. No, it's written in the building regulations. Yeah, Mrs. Fairfax showed us a copy. It says there quite clearly, it's the clause number 270, persons without proper names are not to be allowed to live up in his flat, or else they'll get their heads and their children's heads pulled off. I don't remember seeing that on my contract, but, you know, Mrs. Fairfax showed us the copy and there it was, you know, black and white, and that's good enough for me with Mrs. Fairfax. Anyway, Mrs. Fairfax, she said she'd had him under surveillance. Right? She's got records of everything that goes in, everything that comes out of that flat. You know, we know who he speaks to on the phone. That's everything. Mrs. Fairfax knows what she's doing. Anyway, she's been examining this stuff now, like she'd been trying to find something. She roped in the doctor on the ground floor to kind of like start examining his waist. Yeah, for signs of infection, she said. Well, she'd hardly be looking through piles of rubbish and excrement all day for fun, would she? No, of course not. She's got her reasons, but I don't know why she used the word infection, though. I mean, there's no disease going around, is there? Oh, well, unless it's something she heard up the council that the general public haven't been told about yet. I didn't think about that. I mean, she must have her reasons, mustn't she? I mean, you've got to trust someone who works in the council, haven't you? I mean, anyway, something's got to be up with this guy, so, you know, I'm right with Mrs. Fairfax, and we all agree with her. Yeah, she has that sort of effect on you, she does. Anyway, definitely, this guy definitely responsible for every problem we got in this block of flats. I mean, all of my personal problems, everything that's wrong with me, it's his fault. Oh yeah, there was evidence, I'm sure of it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but you know, Mrs. Fairfax, she said there was evidence, and that's good enough for me. So anyway, I've got this watch up until 3. So, and then hang on. Yeah, and it's Mrs. Hamilton's go. She's better come now. So I hope she brings some more coffee.